And greetings everybody, and welcome to another JeSter Reviews. And today I'm actually celebrating for a couple of reasons. One, we've managed to pass 400 subscribers, so thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel over the last year. And don't forget, if you're watching this now and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button to catch further reviews. And the second reason is I've now taken possession of the Alliance Temer Raider T6-X. Well, it came as a T6, but I've added the X to it. Anyhow. And haven't Cryptic done a wonderful job on this ship? I mean, I think the design is absolutely brilliant. I really do like it. Yes, it reminds me of those hammerhead fighters off a sci-fi series I saw many years ago called Above and Beyond. Yes, showing my age a bit there, aren't I? But anyhow, moving on. The bridge. Well, let's not talk about the bridge, shall we? Because I can't figure it. Cryptic have done such a good job on this ship, but they haven't even given it a decent bridge. It's well, least said about the bridge, the better. We won't be visiting the bridge, but we'll stop talking about the bridge now because, well, we just will. Now then, this is a really interesting ship in that it's a raider and it has some Romulan traits to it as well as some Klingon traits to it. And actually some Federation traits to it, hence the reason why it's called an Alliance ship. But I found it really interesting in looking into Romulan raiders, and there isn't any at all, really. There are some equivalents, of course, but this ship is unique in being called a raider because it has a battle cloak, and it has some universal seating as well. So without further ado, let's make a quick comparison to some other raiders which I've been looking at. So as you can see, the hull of the Temer Alliance Raider at 65 is 45,000, and that is the same as the Mirador and the Lesser Heavy Raider. The Marquis Raider comes in top with a hull of 49,500 at level 65, and the Fleet Birel Bird of Prey, which is classed as a raider, is at 65 as a hull of 40,000. Unfortunately, my favourite raider of the game is the Kelvin D4X Pilot Bird of Prey, which is brilliant for manoeuvrability, but has a very squishy hull at level 65 of 39,600. Now, I think the dark horse in the room here with regards to hull is the Breen Pleshbrek Heavy Raider, because at 65 its hull is 44,550. Now, it should be noted that the oh, I'm doing it again. It should be noted that the Breen Pleshbrek Heavy Raider is a tier 5 ship, which is quite impressive, really, and has a hull modifier of 99, which is also comparable to the other raiders, apart from the Kelvin D4X, which has a 0.88 hull modifier. The best hull appears to be the Marquis Raider at 1.1, but it's not far away from that, is it? The turn rate of the Temer Alliance Raider is 19, And when you compare that to the Kelvin D4X, which is 22, there are some small significant differences between them. However, the Marquis Raider is 20. So again, we're all not a million miles away from each other. The impulse modifier for the Temer Alliance Raider is 0.2. As we look across the board there, the Kelvin D4X 0.24, the Mirador 0.22, and the Fleet Burrell Bird of Prey 0.20, 0.23 for the La Serena Heavy Raider. The Marquis Raider is 0.21. So again, we're all in the ballpark there, aren't we? The beauty of the Temer Alliance Raider is, of course, that it has an enhanced battle cloak, which, apart from the Kelvin D4X Pilot Bird of Prey, the others don't have. And that's a significant difference of this Raider. And you've also got some generic bridge officer seatings as well, some universal seatings. The Breen Plesh Breck has 4 universal. That's comparable to the Marquis Raider actually as well, because the Marquis Raider has 4 universal seats. Now the Temer Alliance Raider has 3 universal seats and 1 dual with 1 tactical. But, you know, pilot maneuvers, just checking. There's some very, very interesting comparisons to be made here, and these are only 6 of the Raiders which I've chosen to use as a comparison to the Temer Alliance Raider. Did I say Tremor? Tremor. The Temer. I think it's pronounced Temer. Temer Alliance Raider. There we go. Right. So, yep, some very interesting differences there between these Raiders across the board. I just thought I'd share that with you. Let's get back now to having a look at what this ship can do. And, well, let's have a look at the stats first of all. Right, so before we go into the statistics of this ship, let's have a quick look at the build first. As you can see, this is a 5 weapons to the front and 1 weapon to the rear. Now I'm just testing out these Zat-Vash disruptor dual beam banks, so I fit 3 of them on the front. I'm also running the enhanced biomolecular photon torpedo. I'm also running the Terran Task Force disruptor dual heavy cannon. Now that's going to give me a 2% bonus all damage, as is the biomolecular photon torpedo launcher. Just for a bit of fun is this. I've never mixed them up before, so I'm going to have a go. The rear weapon is another heavy biomolecular disruptor turret, and that's given me another 2% bonus all damage. The deflector is the Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector Array. The impulse engine is the prevailing innovated impulse engine. The warp core is the Discovery, well, two parts of the Discovery set, the mycelial, harmonic matter, antimatter core, and the Tilly shields. Now the experimental weapons that come with this ship is the Repulsor Blaster. Heavy kinetic damage, repel, 180 targeting arc, knocks target back, 2,291.8 kinetic damage, increases with distance from target, 20% shield penetration. 9.1 weapon power while this weapon is firing, plus 10 accuracy rating, sounds cool, and 2% critical chance, 10% critical severity, and 2.5 second recharge. Yes, I do apologise, I always miss out the devices, and in this case, red matter capacitor, beacon of careless, which I'm going to swap out for a weapons battery, because I can take that from my inventory. And I'm also going to put in there, we're going to use in there energy amplifier battery. I've already got one there, haven't I? Oh well, we'll put the Kobayashi Maru in there. Universal consoles, obfuscation screen, which I'm predominantly using for the accuracy rating. Bio-neural infusion circuits, nearly got that wrong there, didn't I? Trillium deplating, tachyokinetic converter, and the Universal Bounty Hunter's friend. Moving on to the domino and the Universal Weapon Center Enhancer, and that gives me plus 42 accuracy rating. Now this is an interesting console that comes with the ship. 17.1 anti-proton damage. I do apologise, this is the console Universal Alliance Tactics console, and it gives me 17.1% anti-proton damage, and yes, I've put disruptors on it. What I'm going to try and do is I'll try and do a session with some anti-proton weapons on, just to see if there's a marked difference, but it's also given me 17.1 Starship weapon amplification, improves critical hit severity with weapons, heavy anti-proton damage, plus damage buffs, 25% bonus all damage for 5 seconds, 25% weapon shield penetration 5 seconds, 6,881.9 anti-proton damage times 2, 50% shield penetration. Universal hostile acquisition, again for the plus 30 accuracy rating. The Lorca's custom fire control console, which is one of the best consoles in game. 3.9 critical chance, 7.9 weapon power setting, 157.5 Starship shield penetration. And now we come to the Universal Dynamic Power Redistributor module. Now since the changes to KDF players, you used to be able to get this as a KDF player, a KDF Aligned player, and you used to be able to get it from the exchange. Now in the good old days it was in the region of 6 to 7 million EC. The other day I went on and you're looking at 100 million EC. Players actually predicting that this was going to happen bought them all up and stuck them on the exchange, and the inflation rate on these just went through the roof, and now you can't get them. The only way you can get this console now would be if you acquired the Atlas. So yes, I have been looking on the exchange for them. I think the cheapest I saw, and that was a few days ago, was 65 million EC, and that went. I saw it come up and it went. I clicked on it to buy it and it had gone. So you know, this console now will be lost in the ether for a while, or unless, you know, Cryptic brings something similar. But as it is now, unfortunately, unless you have the Atlas, you won't be able to acquire this unless you're lucky enough to pick one up on the exchange. Well, as a testament to how good the Dynamic Power Redistributor module is, I embarked on a project for you to try and find something which was similar to the dynamic power redistributor module, and the closest I got were these three consoles. Now again, this was just my opinion, of course, and you know, you may have another opinion on what you feel is a suitable alternative to the dynamic power redistributor module, and if you do have it, then please drop us a line below. So as I said, my alternatives, in fact I wouldn't hesitate to have all three of these in my build. The console Universal Enhanced Dominion Coordination Protocol console, which is from the Jemadar Heavy Strike Wing Escort, and that's a Lobby ship, 900 Lobby. I'd also have the Lokari Hokun console, the Universal Protomatter Field Projector. That's a Phoenix prize pack console which comes with that ship, and also the Universal M6 computer, which is obtained from the Temporal Escort ship and shuttle requisitions for 75,000 DIL. Also, if you have the Samsar, which is another Lobby ship, no, sorry, it's not a Lobby ship, it's a Phoenix prize pack ship. The console Universal Regenerative Integrity Field could also be added to these other consoles. So in my humble opinion, these four consoles, you know, although don't come near to the Universal Dynamic Power Redistributor module, these are the four consoles I would try and use and mix and match, as opposed to using the Universal Dynamic Power Redistributor module. Again, if you know you have other opinions on that, please let me know, and I'll share with everybody else. So moving on to the final console, the Universal Enhanced Dominion Coordination Protocol, and this one gives me 15% directed energy damage plus 8% critical severity, and 15% all damage bonus 15 seconds, 60% flight turn rate for 15 seconds, 60% flight speed for 15 seconds, and 100 inertia rating for 15 seconds. Right, moving on to the masteries. Now I haven't yet completed them, but in tier 1 plus 5 accuracy rating, tier 2 plus 5 defense rating, tier 3 10% kinetic damage and 10% energy damage, tier 4 increased critical severity 15%, and tier 5 is the trait sniper, bonus torpedo weapon damage increases with distance from target, plus 5% critical chance for 10 seconds after firing torpedoes from more than 5 kilometers away. So this tells me that this is going to be a decent torpedo boat build. So it could be ideal if that's your thing, torpedo boat builds, then this is probably going to be one for you. I'm not keen on torpedo builds, but you know, I'm not saying I won't experiment with them, but you never know. Right, moving on quickly on to the traits. These are my traits, Starship traits, which I'm going to use: desperate repairs, emergency weapon cycle, preferential targeting, invincible, superior area denial, and Vulcan hello. The personal space traits: context is for kings, duelist fervor, EPS overload, elusive, helmsman, repair crews, Terran targeting systems, superior beam training, and beam barrage. Actually, I I may swap that out and put in superior cannon training, because we do have some cannons on this ship, so yes, we'll go with that. The space reputation traits, advanced targeting, energy refrequencer, nearly slipped up then, magnified firepower, tireless duality, precision. Now, of course, I am not an expert build, not by any stretch of the imagination. So, you know, if anybody wants to offer me any advice on this build, I'd welcome it. These are my available traits that I have on this particular character. It's my main character. And I'm putting these up because I've had a few requests from people who want to see what traits I have. So there you go. The next up is the skill tree. I've had a few requests about what my skill tree is. And this is it. A lot of people are very protective of their skill trees, but I'm not. And again, I'm open to any suggestions you may have to improve my build, because yeah, I'm not an expert, as I say, not by any stretch of the imagination. The most important thing about Star Trek when you're playing Star Trek Online is your endeavours. So you need to ensure that you get them. I think I'm up to 333, and as you can see, most of my space traits are nearly full. Let's have a look. So yeah, that's most important, that you participate in your endeavours, because that can actually improve your build significantly. Stations. Now, as you can see here, we have a Lieutenant Commander Universal Command Station. We have a Lieutenant Commander Universal Station. And we have a Lieutenant, or Lieutenant. I think in England we say Lieutenant, and in the USA you say Lieutenant. Yeah. Potato, potato. Anyway. So there we go. Lieutenant Universal Station, Ensign Universal Station, and a Commander Tactical Station. So I think I've covered most of that for you. So any questions, by all means, just drop them in the comments below, and any suggestions. You know, I do welcome any sort of ideas you may have. Now what we'll do is we'll do a couple of runs with this ship. I'll do one with this build, then I'm going to put some anti-proton weapons on it, and we'll see how it goes with anti-proton, because I think it's more or less designed with a view to anti-proton and torpedoes is this build. So we'll do a couple of runs in it and see how we go. So I shall see you in just a few minutes. Okay, here we are on a Japori run. So let's see how she performs, shall we? Tell you what, she's great fun to fly. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's give these others the good news. Yeah, the hull's taking a little bit of hammer there with the shields. Keep an eye on that. I think that's my fault. I do fly a little bit close. Let's try this weapon, shall we? See what it does. Oh, it's not working. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? I tell you what I have noticed as well, the wings actually sweep up as well while it's in battle. Well, it did something then, it's obviously fired now. Oh, that's very odd, isn't it? Won't fire when you click on it. I do like these new Romulan disruptors, the Zap Vash ones. I do like. I can see them becoming quite popular in my builds. Ooh. She's great fun to fly. I will give her that. Yep, this hole in the shield's taking a bit of a hammer in there, aren't they? I think we might have to do a bit of healing. We need a bit of TLC there on the hull and shields. Maybe if I stay out of some of the explosions, should be okay. Oh, yes, I got a little bit singed there, didn't I? Is it, what? There we go. Well, I don't know what's going on there. When you click on it, it seems to do what it wants. Well, there we go. That was a great run, wasn't it? I think she's going to be a lot better when I get the masteries up. Really enjoyed that. That was a really good run. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Before we call it a night, I'll just change to some anti-proton weapons, and we'll just do another quick session, shall we? Just so you can get a feel of what this ship can do, because I have a funny feeling she's going to perform a lot better with anti-proton weapons than what she did with disruptors. So, if you give me a moment, I shall see you in just a few minutes. Okay, so here we are on the 9th rule. I thought we'd give her a go with a anti-proton build. I'm going to put anti-proton cannons on this one. Oh, right, yes, thank you. Alright, let's have a go. Oh. Yeah, didn't notice much with the cannons there. Oh. What I'll do is after I've run this, I'll just let you have a quick look at the build so you can see what I've put together. Yes, I'm just debating whether I should have used anti-proton beams as opposed to anti-proton cannons. I'm sure they are doing damage, but they just don't feel like they are doing damage to me. Now that was quite a cool little. Right, let's get to grips with these weapons. Let's see what we're doing. Ooh, we nearly got blown up then. Yeah, this is the only problem I have with this ship. The hull is very, very squishy if you're not careful. So we're going to have to keep out of trouble a little bit there, aren't we? We got tagged a little bit there. I don't much rate this console, to be honest with you.
They're down to a few ships. Keep up the pressure.
Ah, it worked that time. Look at that. I've been trying to get it to do that for a while. Wow, that came together very well, those cannons, didn't it? I've been trying to get it to do that for most of this battle. Well, that was hard work, wasn't it? So we've had a look at the anti-proton builds, which I promised you I'd let you have a look at that, so just bear with me. Right, so this was the anti-proton build that I put together. I put 3 Bal dual heavy cannons on the front, and I retained the Terran Task Force disruptor. That is quite a good piece of kit, so I wanted to leave that on. And in the rear I had the Bal linked sentry start again. I had the Bal linked sentry anti-proton omni. Dear me, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? Yeah, the experimental weapons, repulsor blaster. Not keen at all. Yeah, I think I've got other experimental weapons that I might swap that out for. The tactical console. That was really hard work. I was trying to get that to work, and it only worked later on in that skirmish, and it was quite good when it went off, but I was trying to get it through both of the presentations, and it didn't go off. So whether there's a glitch in the game there, I don't know, but it did go off in that last battle. If you noticed, there was a big flash. So there you go. Probably picked the wrong type of anti-proton weapon there. Maybe I should have gone for anti-proton beams, but I'll give that a go with anti-proton beams, and and see how it flies. But you know, to me, it feels wrong. This ship. It feels it feels wrong to fly this ship with anti-proton weapons on. I keep thinking it should be disruptor weapons. So I think I'm going to make this predominantly a disruptor build, and preferably a beam, mix between a beam and a torpedo build. Maybe have 2 torpedoes at the front, just to see how it goes, because this is really good for kinetic damage. So there we go. Right, well, I really do hope you've enjoyed this review. It is a splendid ship, and I do like the way the wings curl up when it goes into battle. Really good. Well done, Cryptic. I think you've done a sterling job there. Not bad at all for a free ship. Not bad at all. So if you are participating in the anniversary event for this ship, get your finger out. You haven't got long, and get yourself a free ship. This is one of the better ones that I've seen so far in all the years I've been playing Star Trek Online. So, without further ado, I shall bid you good night. This is JeSter signing off.